Gunshots were reportedly heard outside the White House per NBC News, with approximately 20 to 30 rounds fired. That's a lot. Holy shit. God damn. Okay, that's a lot. Wow. It's an AR-15? Yeah. Gunshots have been heard near the White House. 20 to 30 shots fired at the White House. Gunners active. 20 to 30. Oh my God. Seriously, pray for everyone around the area. I mean, I don't know why this has happened, right? I mean, like, it could, I mean, I'm assuming it's probably politically motivated, but I'm not really sure. So many retards popping off lately. A video Eric Daughtry has posted. Let me see if that's it. Okay. Oh, wow. Here it is.
Close, only for the two sides to remain far apart.
No!
Close, only for the two sides to remain far apart.
No!
Damn.
Close.
Holy shit, that's crazy. That's scary? Yeah, I would say so. Gunshots fired at the White House. Secret Service sniper teams are now reportedly visible on the White House roof. Standard procedure following a security incident, with teams deploying to elevated positions to secure the grounds. Yeah, I think that's pretty obvious. This is going to keep happening until they start clamping down on the extremism, by the way. And I've been trying to warn people about this. Like, eventually they're going to shoot somebody. It's going to eventually happen. Like, even if it's not a politician, it's going to be somebody that gets hit by collateral damage or something else like this. The amount of allowance that we have for this violence and this terrorism, that's really what these people are. They are literal terrorists, right? I think it's a huge issue. It's a massive problem. Democrats specifically need to dial down the rhetoric. No, nobody needs to dial down any rhetoric. We just need to arrest the people that are violent. That's it. That's literally all we need to do. We don't need to dial down rhetoric. We need to just literally go and arrest the people that are making threats, arrest the people that are advocating for violence, arrest the people that are saying that they want to shoot the president, just put them all in jail, and then the problems go away. That's it. Could be terrorists too? Yeah, we don't really know yet. I think it's fair to say that. It's hard to be certain why this is happening or what the impulse is behind it. Do you think it's Iranian agents? I mean, who knows what happened? I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, there's no way to be sure, right? I mean, I have no idea. It's so easy to find all the time. Yeah, exactly. And not setting them free is the key too. Yeah, I mean, you've got to keep these people, like, we can't have a free, like, a free, good society with people like that are constantly advocating for violence. You can't have this. Like, it's not possible. But Trump and all at the Pentagon? Well, I have no idea. I think you're breaking it on Drudge or Fox yet? Really? I don't know.
Meanwhile,
this is something we've already seen before. NBC gunshots heard outside the White House, approximately 20 to 30 shots. Secret Service ordered press gathered on the North Lawn to run inside the briefing room. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Let me see if I can find the rest of this. Gunshots fired outside the White. Oh my God, bro, this is so scary. Holy shit, man. Yeah. What's the point of doing these shots if they're not even reaching the White House? LMFAO, they're retarded. I mean, who knows? Like, one of the luckiest things that we have is the fact that the overwhelming majority of these violent people are completely incompetent. Like, they're just crazy that they're trying to, like, shoot the president. And again, like, whenever you have the constant calls for killing Trump, and nothing ever happens to these people. This is the result of that. And eventually, by the way, if they do ever succeed in killing Trump, it's just going to make everything worse. We're going to get a new Patriot Act. We're going to get way more surveillance. There's going to be a even further emboldened right wing. You're going to lose more privacy. You're going to lose more rights. And everything's going to be, like, literally everything is going to be worse. There's not like we're going to get rid of him. But you think J.D. Vance is going to be better? He's probably going to be even more extreme than Trump is. They want that, don't they? I mean, I think that you could make the argument that the government is allowing it to happen so it can necessitate, like a further, Patriot Act level, control escalation. Sure, you can make that argument if you're a conspiracy theorist. And I think that the lack of of action that they've taken against people makes it very easy to believe that. They want to ban VPNs. Yeah, you're going to be losing your VPNs. You're going to be losing all kinds of different privacy. And this is what's going to happen. And I find it to be very, very sad because I think that a lot of people are not realizing that. They're not realizing this, and I think that they're just kind of letting it happen. And I think it's a good thing. They're thinking, oh, wow, this is great. I'm so happy. There's another assassination attempt. I wish it succeeded. No, you don't. You think you do because you're an idiot.
I don't really know how much we're going to hear. This is not the police.
It looks like there's nothing else really. I'll double check and look at a few more of these. If they killed Trump, he'd become a martyr and he'd get 100% more conservative. Yeah, exactly. There's no win condition here. Guys, this is why we need that ballroom, right? Yeah, we really got to have that ballroom now. I wasn't sure, but now after this one, I guess Trump must have rigged this one too.
Medic 25 respond at the request of Medic 19 for ALS response at 1395 Morris Road Southeast. Medic 25 respond at the request of Medic 19 for ALS response at 1395 Morris Road Southeast.
Oh, hey guys, hold on. Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm seeing something right now.
The shots are confirmed at the White House? Nothing's confirmed right now.
I got to turn this off.
The only thing that's confirmed is that there were like 20 to 30 shots, and it was near the White House. That's literally it.
And I'm seeing on Broadcastify, they talked about a shooting at 17th Street and Pennsylvania Ave Northwest about 22 minutes ago. 17th Street and Pennsylvania Ave Northwest. All right, hang on a moment. So if we pull up a map.
Disagree with the conspiracy take? Or beyond the point for that argument? Well, I don't want to get into that.
About that.
It doesn't really matter.
17th Street and
this dude's a Fed? Why? Because you disagree with him? He just reports news. DC. I'll see if there's anything else that's happened.
Here is...
Could be anyone. Yeah, who knows?
That's right near the White House. That's right on the corner there. All right, so hang on.
So this is apparently where they said the shooting was?
So I see back about 20-something minutes ago on Broadcastify.
Yeah, if that's true, he wasn't even nearby at all.
At 17th Street and Pennsylvania Ave Northwest. Listen.
Paramedic Engine 16 respond for possible shooting with EMS 6, Engine 23, EMS 7, Medic 1 at 17th Street and Pennsylvania Avenue Northwest. Paramedic Engine 16 respond for possible shooting at 17th Street and Pennsylvania Avenue Northwest.
Let me see.
Okay, and they talk about attack channel. So, and then when was the shooting reported? Yeah, I first saw reports of this around 6:09. So yes. So what? Let me just post this right now.
Uh-huh.
Give me 1 second. Just give me one moment here. This would be so. Just hang on 1 second.
What, Americans use so many guns compared to other nations on Earth? More crime. Higher levels of violence. Culture. Population density.
Okay, so I just want to get this posted.
Multicultural? Yeah, multicultural. A lot of friction. Do you think this is the new deal with Iran's bad? I don't know what it is.
Around the time media reported,
I bet it's probably not. It's not going to matter.
Gunshots outside the White House.
I'm gonna mute this for a minute and just look at the other ones. So let's see if there's anything else about this. Like 47 zeros on. I feel like this doesn't have anything to do with Iran, really. Like, I find it to be unlikely. And step away from Red Dead Redemption for 2 minutes. Yeah, ABC, another outlet that Trump hates. I mean, I don't know. I don't think this really has to do, like... I mean, it could be a shoot, and to be fair, right? It could just literally be a shooting that happened near the White House. Like, obviously, you would kind of assume that it's because of Trump, right? I mean, that's what I would guess, at least. But at the same time, like, you can't be sure of it. Let me see if I can find any more about this at all. This is the last time it happened, right? I mean, it happens so much now, it's just insane. And I don't know why more people aren't trying to, like, I don't know, stop this from happening, but they just let it go on. Just join what's happening. There was another shooting at the White House. Yeah, this is the video. I'll play it again since some people are coming in. Yep, another angle. Okay, we got another a bonus angle. Let's take a look at it.
Yeah, I do. I need for you.
Holy shit!
Yeah, I do.
Damn.
I need for you.
Yeah, you can tell the shots are very far away, to be honest. I mean, I don't know. I'm not like an expert on this. Ballroom propaganda. This guy's really smart. So let me go back and pull these up. Is there any more of this? Oh my God. So this is going to radicalize more people, whether or not the shooting was actually aimed at the White House. Yeah, I do think that's probably true. And just in general, we're just kind of waiting to see if there's any new information about this. So this is where the shooting apparently was. Wait, no, I thought it was up there. Maybe it's here? I don't know.
Yeah, so that's possibly where it happened.
Uh-huh. Line of sight to the White House? Yeah, I mean, there's no way they thought they're going to be able to hit him from there, right? I mean, like, who even does that? Do you think America's heading to a civil war? No, I don't think so.
Here is a post from just a minute ago. Hold on, a minute ago.
What does it say?
Ambulance 16 respond at the request of Pennsylvania Avenue Command at 17th and Pennsylvania Avenue Northwest.
Well, sent Defender post an
Ambulance
update.
16
Okay.
respond at the request of Pennsylvania Avenue Command at 17th Street and Pennsylvania Avenue Northwest. Operate on TAC channel 0 Bravo 3.
So, yeah, no, that is, yeah, it's right there. Okay.
1836.
So that's literally from 2 minutes ago. That's from 2 minutes ago. All right, hang on a moment. Some people are saying that there are some new updates. So give me a moment. Let me check some things out here.
I don't know if there really are. I mean, so is the United States heading towards a civil war? No. The reality is that there is a very, very small subset of these people that are acting on and proliferating this violence and this violent rhetoric. I would say that it's probably less than 1% of the people. It's probably 0.1% of the people that are engaged in, like, political discourse on the internet. Like, we're talking about, like, 1/1000th of the people that are engaged. But the problem is that 1/1000th can be a huge problem if they're really violent because they're causing problems, etc. So I don't think that really 1% is 3 million. Yeah, but I mean, again, and there are a lot of these people. There are, but like whenever you look at it, like in terms of a civil war, right? Like a civil war implies that like both like groups of people in America are unhappy. I don't think that's accurate. I think that this is a lot more. Okay, is this? Oh my God! Moments ago. Yeah, damn. Even 1 million is
outside the White
too
House.
much.
We're following this breaking news. Possible shots fired near our nation's capital at the White House. We have News Nation's Chris
Oh my
Flanagan.
God.
We just heard from him. He was shoved off the property and his live shot position to go inside the White House press briefing room towards safety at the direction of those Secret Service officers who you just heard from. Chris, give us an update. Where do things stand? What's happening right now in the briefing room?
So, Alex, we are still in lockdown in the briefing room. We have not been allowed to, have not given all clear to leave. We still see Secret Service out on the lawn, the north lawn here of the White House. They're still, still out there. We are inside. Again, we heard about 25 or 30 rapid, what sounded like gunshots right after the 6 o'clock Eastern time hour, right after we did our live shot with you for News Nation and Secret Service. They just hurried everybody into the press briefing room, getting us in here as quickly as possible, yelling, shots fired, get down, get into the press briefing room.
Damn.
They're looking live here at the north lawn of the White House. And just
someone's testing responses?
We were standing.
No, it's probably just a crazy idiot.
Over there. You see the green awning, green tents?
Yes.
There we go. That's where we do our live shots. That's on the north side of the White House. If you're on the road, per se, facing the White House, is to the right
Someone
side.
spotted him and engaged him?
Maybe we're 75, 80 yards.
Is that it?
And Chris, that's a powerful visual just right there. Look at all those lights from reporter live shots still on.
Yeah.
It really speaks to just how, at a moment's notice, everything just stopped. You guys were forced to leave your cameras,
'cause they're
leave your
gonna get
lights
shot.
and everything behind just to flee to safety.
I would run away too.
Absolutely.
Is this be another terrorist like the one for Ivanka? I mean, like, it could, what could it be? It could be anything, right? I mean, like, I don't know what it could be. I mean, we'll have to wait and see. So, I mean, like, I feel like really any time that something like this happens, like, everybody likes to jump to conclusions and, like, rush to, like, it's this, it's that, it's something else. I don't think we really know. Okay, so several shots are fired. This is it. You would run? I'd probably just get down on the ground. Can you ask your Israeli handler for some info? Yeah, was it our guys? They missed? Okay, all right, see ya. And sure, something to do with J.D. Vance's motorcade? No, that happened like a week ago or something, but I don't know if they really thought that was related or not. So, it's the Jews, yes, of course. And so, I'm trying to figure out what else happened. I mean, this is all happening live, so keep that in mind.
At that location.
It seems like also nobody got shot.
But
We're
again,
not
this was
seeing
not
any
at the White
emergency.
House. This was on the corner of the street outside the White House.
Lockdown after dozens of shots were fired nearby. Live camera posted outside as we see authorities with guns drawn, fire trucks driving by. Fox 5 in D.C. says D.C. police are responding to gunshots near the White House this evening.
Not
and
good.
that the White House has been placed on lockdown, according to multiple reports.
Could be anything, yeah.
Reports of the gunshots started coming around 6 p.m.
I mean, there's an EMS,
And again,
though.
you're just going to see
Actually,
this is a live camera. They're wiping off some of the rain. It is a little bit rainy out there. We've got a wider look.
Seems like
at
a
1600
distraction.
Pennsylvania Avenue.
Doesn't
a lot of
seem like
not a whole
anything.
lot you can see from the
We
wide
don't know
angle.
what happened.
And then we've got this angle from Pebble Beach.
Nobody
That's
has
where
any
all the White
idea
House
what happened.
correspondents tend to gather. Let's stick with this shot, though, because we're seeing some activity with a EMS truck, with an ambulance. Let's move away as it looks like the signal is dropping on us. Fox 5 says that several journalists at the White House reported that the press pool had been locked down inside the building. We saw a number of reports saying that the White House
Is
press
Trump
corps
there today? I
was
think
locked
so.
down inside
Is
the
he?
White House press briefing room. We just got this shot back. from the ground. So it remains to be seen exactly what has transpired outside the White House. But a number of news outlets, including Fox 5 in D.C., saying that there's been police responding to reports of gunshots near the White House this evening, and that the White House has been placed on lockdown.
Gemini says 2 National Guards
Jackie
were shot.
Heinrich
I think it's
covers
probably,
the White House
it's
for
probably
Fox.
pulling from something else.
She shares a video
because that was what happened
of a
last
reporter on ABC showing some of those gunshots. It's a video. Basically, we're not able to show the video on our air.
Guy with TDS trying to get attention.
Screenshot that you see there is a reporter filming at the Pebble Beach area, which again is where the White House correspondents tend to do live hits from outside the White House. And you can hear in the video
that's from one of those little tents.
Alleged gunshots. So Jackie Heinrich says that a pull note was sent out saying, "We are on lockdown. WHNL TV station was escorted off the lawn. My correspondent heard multiple shots from the EEOB side. The Secret Service was heard being said, 'Get down, bring you more as we get it.'" So back to this live vantage point. That's all we know at this moment. I don't think we've seen anything official from the Secret Service yet.
Shit.
We're looking out for statements from the DC.
Will be provided as it becomes available.
So repair reports shots fired. We're working to corroborate information with personnel on the ground. Additional information. Okay, so they right now they don't know what happened. They're trying to figure it out themselves. Sounds like another weekend night in DC. Maybe, I don't know.
So there you go.
Holy shit. This is the people, we already saw this.
Republican support on Capitol Hill is weakening.
Yeah, it sure is. Yeah, I'd be stressed. God damn. Holy fuck. I like how he fixed his tie and he finished his sentence before he got down. Man, what a guy. Took his mic off? Yeah. Oh, yeah, and you're right, you're right. Oh my god. Will all these bleeding hearts say enough is enough and support law enforcement in DC? They're not bleeding hearts. They're people that want other people to bleed. Whenever they say that they care about average people, what they mean is that they care about people that agree with them. That's it. You don't fall for the mistake of believing that these people have principles. They don't. They love bleeding hearts, yeah. As long as there's somebody else's, they want revolution, yeah. People are jumping to conclusion, yeah. We don't really know what happened. I mean, right now it's just it's uncertain. Here's another one. This seems like a nothing. It doesn't seem like it's a big deal. Like, it doesn't seem like it, but I guess we're going to have to wait and see. Because they're not reporting any casualties. In like the previous times, they've reported immediately a casualty. They've said immediately that's it. Or people are wounded, it's all a big deal. Well, like, we don't know exactly why something like this happened. And I think that, you know, when something like this, RGC would give up the straight to, this is something about fucking, this is something else. Did we see this? Yeah, we did. Oh my God. What the fuck's going on with your country? Well, we let the inmates run the asylum. That's what happens. You let nutballs run things, and this is the result, right? I mean, like, that's really it. I mean, I don't think there's anything else. Right now, press have been released from White House lockdown after an active shooter was reported would indicate the threat is no longer imminent to the ground specifically.
White House press briefing room. That's obviously a good sign, right, Jeffrey?
That would be a good sign. That means that the initial threat that they believed is either incapacitated or no longer present or has been detained.
Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously we're still waiting to hear exactly what happened from White House officials. Obviously, our correspondent on the ground.
It's shocking to me that we allow this level of chaos and discord. Do you think Trump's the president have this many attempts on his life? No, I don't think so. I think it probably happened all the time with Obama. It probably happened all the time with every president. It's just that, like, we don't hear about it.
Said he had heard what sounded like at least 30 gunshots. Again, not confirmed from any sort of official sourcing today whether or not it was actually gunfire. But we have Senator James Lankford weighing in, praying for the president's safety as he waits to hear more about what happened. Our News Nation national correspondent and White House correspondent Kelly Meyer just into our newsroom. FBI is on scene and supporting Secret Service, responding to shots fired near White House grounds. We will update the public as we're able to. So right there is our first official White House press briefing room. That's obviously a good sign, right, Jeffrey?
That would be a good sign. That means that the initial threat that they believe.
Yeah, I guess we're going to have to see. I mean, like, been a lot of anthrax attacks against presidents. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely possible. Waiting for Benny Johnson to upload YouTube. It's asking just shots at Trump. Yeah, I mean, we don't really know what happened, right? There's no way to be sure. Like, we're just kind of going through all this. This is, yeah, we saw this one before they got released. Yeah, we already saw these two. So we're waiting to see. If it happened, they would have immediately made a big deal of it, so probably not. Yeah, I have no idea. Journalist White House, postman inside the lockdown. Outside press briefing room, U.S. officers drawn. Holy shit. God damn. God damn.
Make that my upload tonight? I don't have to know.
Oh, this is something else. Just going through the rest of these. Holy fuck. We need more cameras? I mean, I don't really think that's really the solution here, right? I mean, it's not really cameras. The problem is that, like, a lot of the people that go out and commit this crime
as well,
right? A lot of
these,
like
we're about to have this ambulance drive by.
That's a lot of people.
More than likely, probably getting the thumbs up. This camera's probably getting ready to do a live hit for a newscast, if I had to surmise.
Mm-hmm. People will acquiesce to things like flop
the audio up.
And other types of surveillance. I think you'll really be surprised by how many people will accept total surveillance. I know you might not want to hear that, but I think it's true. They took down the gunman? I haven't heard that.
Audio's coming through a bit loud there. We apologize for that.
2 men
shot,
shot,
a developing situation and a developing...
Wait, what? 2 men are shot? I haven't seen that.
I'll say near, but we have it on this.
Yeah, I'm not seeing that anywhere. W Flock? I mean, I have no idea. I mean, like, I think that what's going to happen is that you're going to have more of these, like, more of these shootings that happen. And once a certain amount of them happens, when somebody is shot, well, yeah, I mean, they probably shot the guy that was doing the shooting, right? Are you okay with total surveillance? I'm not.
Oh, Liz Landers, hold on. I'm seeing something here. Liz Landers says she is with PBS, confirmed shots fired near White House. 2 gunshot victims now. 1 was suspect and other likely bystander. This occurred at 17th and Pennsylvania. The president is safe. I'm going to read this again. Liz Landers, who's the White House correspondent for PBS NewsHour. Liz Landers reports, confirmed shots fired near the White House. 2 gunshot victims now. 1 was the suspect and 1 other a likely bystander. The president is safe.
Yeah, I would assume he's fine. I mean, if he's just in, I bet the White House is pretty well protected. I could kind of assume that. What the fuck were they shooting at? I don't know. I mean, it could just be a crazy person. I mean, who the fuck knows? Yeah, I mean, there's no way to be sure.
That we put in so that that's music to yours. We don't even have to go through Congress for that. You know,
This is something else. Let me see if there's any more news about this. Gunshots were heard. Press briefing room. Yeah. Uh-oh. J.D. Vance leaves the White House. Yeah, pretty good time to leave, I'd say. Holy fuck. Must be another Republican. Well, I mean, nobody knows what happened, right? I mean, there's no way to be sure. Gunshots were found. There's another schizo from the internet political warrior. Well, here's the issue, right? I mean, like, I think the big problem is that you have nutballs that go and do this stuff, and in a lot of the cases, it's always the ones you most expect. But we have this predisposition against any form of, like, kind of proactive decision making, and so we just let people basically be crazy until they shoot somebody, and then we say, oh my god, this is such a tragedy, how could this have happened? Well, you knew this person was going to shoot somebody, they're crazy. And so it's just a matter of time. Like, we're kind of waiting to see if there's any new information about this right now. Probably another trans person. I mean, I don't know why somebody would think that. I have no idea. Every school shooting, they act that way? Yeah, I mean, exactly. So, they're talking about violence or killing someone? Yeah, there's no accountability. Yeah, that's the problem that I have, is that, like, really, I think that a lot of this kind of stuff is very common, but the issue is that on the scene, FBI is on the scene supporting Secret Service, responding to shots fired in the White House grounds. We'll update the public as we're able to. Okay, that's about what I'd expect. Let me see if there's any more of this. So they said 2 people were shot. The guy that did the shooting was shot, and somebody else. Crazy wokies are clearly our target demographic for hits right now. Well, I mean, I think any of the people that are advocating for violence or doing anything like that, I think those are the real problem. Like, those people are the bad actors. They're the ones that you really need to go after. Like, looking at random other idiots is not really that big of a deal, right? I mean, I don't really care about that. But I think that the goal should be going after, you know, these specific people. Then you speak the truth. Don't want people to get hurt. Show it on stream to get content. I hope that's true. What is this here? And don't want people to get hurt, but show it on stream. Well, I don't want to. I mean, obviously, you don't want to have anybody get hurt. But here's the problem, right? Is that if you don't take a proactive measure against crazy people and against violent people, especially the ones that are trying to promote violence, what happens right now is that there is, and I think this started with Luigi, but it's been going on ever since Columbine, is that there is like a celebrity culture of violent criminals. And you could even say that Charles Manson is what started it. But fundamentally, like, at least in my lifetime, it was definitely Columbine. And so what happens is that whenever somebody does something violent, or they are, you know, like a crazy person, they will get a lot of internet, you know, like, credibility. There'll be everybody talking about them. Their face will get plastered everywhere. And I think in the process of doing that, you create a reward structure around being that kind of a person. So, and even if this is somebody like, get started, well, I don't know about that. And Uncle Triley, yeah, Wombo Combo, like getting instigators causing violence as well as retard people that act on it. Yeah, definitely. And so what I think happens is that these people, they think that they can get, you know, famous, or they can be well known for doing this. And I think that that's the reason why they go out and they commit all this crime and they commit this violence, right? It's because they're allowed to. Do you think they'll open the asylums back in? I think that they should. They really should. And this is the problem that we have. Like, you see, there's so many videos of this, right? Where it's just like crazy people running around, talking to themselves, smashing things, punching light posts, etc. Like, those people are just insane. And the more that you allow those people to be out in public, the more that those people will be able to hurt somebody. And fundamentally, like it's not even good for those people that they're out in public, because sometimes they can get hurt too. Ideology breeds weak men. Well, I think that really it's the ideology that this type of language is normalized. Like, I've been talking about the assassination culture stuff now for a while, and I think that it's only becoming more evident that it's a huge problem. And I think that's it. They shot 2 people, not a surprise at all. Trump surrendered to Iran. I don't even know what he's talking about. Okay, let me see if I can find this here. Trying to see if there's any more news about it.
Talking to him, getting him to invest a lot of money in our country. And he said, you know, President, 2 years ago, you were a dead country. And today...
I've heard this before. Okay.
You're the hottest country anywhere in the world.
Let me see if there's any more of these that are worth looking at.
Fired multiple shots and the Secret Service took him down. That's what Fox News is reporting. Again.
Wow.
Fox News is saying a gunman fired multiple shots and Secret Service took him down.
Okay, so this is some news right here.
From the shooter, and we're assuming the rest of those shots came from Secret Service. In your experience, how many guns are right there available? If a shooter opens fire at the White House, is there many, many guns that are able to be trained on them?
Absolutely. I mean, you have snipers, you have people all over the place. This is one of the most heavily fortified facilities in the United States. Again, I cover Congress. I walk into the Capitol every day, and I probably pass anywhere just on a routine day 10 to 15 officers, and they're all armed. And these aren't even the heavily armed officers.
Not even
the White House is fortified in a different way. So, yeah, I mean, that's where you might get up in that number until, as according to my source, that this suspect was taken down pretty quickly. And again, as I say, there are other police forces in that area of Washington, D.C., the Metro Transit Police, Washington, D.C. Police, Capitol Police are not very far, George Washington University Police. You might have, if it's something that's just off the White House grounds, a Convergence Park Police, National Park Service is not very far. The National Mall, you might have a lot of people jumping into this depending on what the request might be or what officers see and hear.
And Chad, this also, for me, harkens back to, again, not too long ago when we had somebody show up at Mar-a-Lago, perhaps in a similar fashion to this. You mentioned the security presence and posture around the White House. One would expect it would be one of the most secure areas in the world, certainly in the country. So if somebody was in the vicinity and they're just shooting off, they had to have understood that they weren't going to get that close to the White House. I mean, for someone to do that and just shoot in the general direction,
I wonder why somebody would
they had to
even
have
do it
known that there would be a response pretty quickly.
Yeah.
This couldn't have been somebody who thought they were getting the element of surprise here. It doesn't sound like someone very strategic.
Well, that's where I talked about what happened in 1994. This person just opened up fire on the White House.
What an idiot. And, another nut job that would have already been arrested. Yeah, somebody asked, what would you do about the asylums, abusing and, mistreating people, because that's what happened with the old asylums. I think that's what's going to happen. I think that people are going to get abused and mistreated inside of the asylum, same as they're being mistreated and abused in prisons now. It's just the way it is. But I'd rather have people getting abused inside of asylums than the people from asylums outside and abusing other people in public. It's just the way it is. You're never going to have anything that's clean, right? Realistically, you can't. There's a lot of people that try to act like, oh, well, we're never going to have any collateral damage, or there's never going to be anything bad that happens to people. No, it will. It'll happen. That's just the way it is. Now, and this is the way crime is now. It's the way jails are now, prisons are now. We're going to get rid of prisons because of that? Of course not. It's about making the best decision for the most people, obviously. So I don't really allow that to control my thinking.
Press briefing room. There were no immediate reports of any injuries, according to the Associated Press. On X, Secret Service said that it was aware of reports of shots fired near 17th Street and Pennsylvania Avenue Northwest, 1 block from the White House, and was working to corroborate the information with personnel on the ground. In a social media post, FBI Director Kash Patel said that officers were responding to shots fired and said that he would update the public as they're able to.
Yeah.
It's like our camera's being shifted around a little bit. We are working with live cameras, and it looks like they're getting ready for a live TV report there.
Oh,
so let's
boy.
go to our second angle. And let's pull up the audio. I'm curious if we're able to hear anything.
On the conflict.
Yeah, so we just hear nearby news reporters doing their live hits.
Gunman brandished weapon fired towards the White House.
President Trump was inside the White House while this happened. We know that the president has been busy working on a deal having to do with the Iran war.
That would make sense.
I mean, we've been talking about it all afternoon.
You know, like that would make sense, definitely.
Tweeted out earlier this afternoon that the U.S. is close to agreeing on a ceasefire deal with the Iranians through the intermediaries, although a final deal has not been made yet. So we knew President Trump was inside the White House as he was working on that deal. The Metropolitan Police did not immediately respond to Fox 5 DC for comment. Fox News with this, saying that Fox News' Chad Pergram reports on the shots fired near the White House, says the Secret Service. Okay, so this is new to us. Shooter down.
Gotcha, bitch.
Chad Pergram.
Gotcha,
bitch.
bitch.
The Secret Service took the shooter down.
Rip Bozo.
Now, we don't have much more context than that at the moment, but that's at least one more piece of information.
I wonder if he's
Chad
dead.
Pergram saying that a shooter has been taken down. And just to reset here, the White House, at last check, is on lockdown after as many as 30 shots
they let
were
people
reportedly
out.
fired near the White House earlier today. Correspondents reporting
Unleashed gunfire.
in the area
Let me see if I'm going to listen to this one.
Apparently was directed toward the White House. If you get toward the west side of the White House, and we're trying to figure out precisely where this was, you have the old executive office building now called the Eisenhower Executive Office Building, which is kind of a big complex if you're working from west to east.
He'll be remembered for at least 5 hours.
So we know that he was firing in the direction of the White House. And this is a preliminary report from someone who's very senior and would have direct knowledge of this information. Again, a lot of people in town. There was one source that had, questioned me earlier, even before we had this information. There's a lot of motorcyclists in town for the Memorial Day events. They always come for this time. And
firing toward the White House seems like it was obviously politically motivated.
Backfiring or something like that. There's quite a cacophony of that. But this is clearly someone who came up and was firing at the direction of the White House.
Yeah.
And the president, of course, is at the White House today.
Hey, Chad, Kevin here. If I could just get you to break down again, based on what you've heard, this person was taken down. Does that mean they have been neutralized, or do you think they were they sort of made physical contact with this person?
Well, they say dead. Like, just say they dead or not.
I was told that they were shot because the Secret Service returned fire against this individual.
Gotcha. And have you heard from any cabinet secretaries or any other high-level officials about what's happening?
Yeah. This is all we've got right now. It's Memorial Day weekend. People are spread to the four winds, and the reason I, always jump in on this is that, when I used to cover local government.
He's in critical condition. Bystander serious.
The county sheriff's department would come out through the county commissioners and vice versa. So when you cover Congress and something's happening in the administration.
Yeah, Lochner just said both people have been taken to the hospital. Well, yeah, if you were shot, that's where I'd want to go. I'd want to go to the hospital if I was shot. Because of the bullets.
It's not all going to fit.
Yeah.
A very large law enforcement presence as they continue to investigate this.
I just want people to know
obviously
why.
Obviously comes just weeks after the White House Correspondents' Dinner, where there was another incident just outside the Hilton Hotel, where a gunman also tried to get as close into the dinner and shoot towards allegedly the president. And so right now, obviously, now we're getting these reports of gunshots outside the White House. A lot of people around here walking around trying to also understand what happened, get more information. And believe me, we are on the same page as many of you, still trying to confirm exactly what happened. But
I'm sure they'll
I just want
appreciate
to
it.
reiterate, so we're here on Pennsylvania Pennsylvania Avenue and 18th Street. The streets here are blocked off. Secret Service is trying to detour traffic into other directions, trying to let people know that this area is blocked off.
This guy's walking around,
an immense presence of law enforcement, not only from D.C. Police, but also Secret Service. We're also noticing
how did a man with a rifle get that close to Washington, D.C.? Well, we don't know what he had. We don't know if it was a rifle, a handgun, or what.
Just from a little bit, this all started around 6 p.m. Gunshots were reported near the White House today. Journalists were part of the press pool at the White House. They have reported that they've been put on lockdown. There were people who were getting ready to go live on their shows when they started to hear multiple gunshots. So definitely just a really concerning and a scary feeling, not only for the people, tourists who also walk around here close to the perimeter, outside perimeter of the White House. Again, from what we know, just from what Fox News has reported, an individual fired gunshots at least 3 times outside the White House. The person never got inside the perimeter. We also know that that person was shot by Secret Service. Fox News also reporting a civilian was hit by gunfire. And again, we are still trying to check on social media to see any updates from the FBI, who is...
It's crazy to me that we put up with this shit. It really is. Like, it's so frustrating for me to watch the country be turned into shit because of these fucking animals that run around and cause problems for no reason. Like, it's so fucking annoying. I don't know why this... I don't know why we let this happen. Insurrection Act needs to happen. Yeah, suspect transported, not breathing. Great. It means they're dead. We're not going to have to pay for a trial. Hopefully. Well, why do you believe this? What do you believe is the thinking for this type of thing? Because they're mentally ill. Like, see, you're making a big mistake by trying to reason out like this is a crazy person. You can't think out why did the crazy person do the thing. Because crazy people don't follow the same reasoning that you follow. They don't listen to the same things that you listen to, right? They don't follow the reasoning that you follow. Like, they don't think like this. Like, they're totally different. And so, like, whenever you see something like that and you're like, oh, I wonder why this is happening, it's actually really, really fucking simple.
Gunfire.
Oh, we saw this one before. So he didn't breach the perimeter. I'm not really surprised by that. And I have the same mind as the space alien. Yeah, exactly. Like you can't understand this. Remove weapons from civilians and citizens in your country will have 50% less criminals. I'd rather just put the criminals in jail. Like, I think you can have guns, and people should be able to have a gun for self-defense, but at the same time, you can just put the people that are shooting guns at other people, you can just go put those people in jail, right? I mean, it's really simple. Like, I don't know, why does everybody have to lose their guns because, like, a small percentage of people don't want to do that? We're not disarming? Yeah, that's not going to happen. Bro thinks guns can be acquired legally? Yeah, I mean, it's just, it's so stupid, but, you know, that's just the way people like this think, right? I mean, what do you expect? I'm trying to see if there's any more about this.
We have breaking news. CNN reporters heard what appeared to be dozens of gunshots near
this
the White House.
This seems to be the same one. Yeah, we don't need to listen to that.
It's more of what happened, what's going on. Just to get you just a little bit more on what we're seeing out here. Again, law enforcement in this area, Pennsylvania Avenue, as well as 18th Street and 17th Street, they seem to be blocked off. That's probably going to be the case for the next couple of hours. But as I was mentioning, Sydney, I mean, you know, this is an area where people walk through a lot. No matter what the weather looks like, you're always going to see people who want to pass by the White House, tourists, especially on this, busy weekend. This is a holiday weekend, Memorial Day weekend. So I don't know. We still don't know who were the people there at that time when gunshots were heard in the area. But I can tell you, if there were people nearby, there was definitely a concern and an alarm and just a scary scene. And just to hear that for anybody, it is very scary. So We still have no indication yet of who was there other than from what Fox News has reported. And if you're just tuning in, this is Pennsylvania Avenue and 18th Street. This is what it looks like with law enforcement. We have Secret Service, DC Police. We also know that Fox News reporting an individual fired shots at least 3 times outside the White House. We know that the president was inside, and we also know that that person was then shot by Secret Service, but still trying to get more details on this case. Sydney?
Regina, thank you so much for your coverage, and we will see you again tonight at 8 on the Plus. To our viewers who are with us here on Fox Local, thank you so much for staying with us. As you heard from Regina, a lot of breaking news to follow right now is the reports of that gunfire outside of the White House. Again, though, as Regina relayed from Fox's reporting, we are told that that suspect never got inside of the perimeter. One more note I want to mention before we go. Regina had talked about the fact that this did not happen long after the White House Correspondents' Dinner shooting. A lot of the folks, as Regina said, who were on the White House grounds at the time were journalists who were doing live shots tonight and reports. Starting to see on social some of the journalists that were there were filming either videos online or on television, and you can hear the gunshots in the background as they duck. So a lot of those journalists, having just lived through this, also lived through the White House Correspondents' Dinner shooting. So we are working to gather information for you as quickly as possible. Thank you again for staying with us here on Fox Local. Please join us back tonight on the Plus and on Fox Local at 8 o'clock, just in about 45 minutes here. Regina will be live with us with the very latest.
That's the reason why. Great equalizer.
But again, one apparently was a suspect and one was a bystander.
Not surprised at all. Let me see what some more of this says. There's many non-American fans that are cucked out with gun control shit. Well, they're probably just scared.
Tommy, this is what always happens when we have something like this. I always start to check in on the security situation at the White House, but this is what happened around 6 o'clock this evening. I'm told that a gunman came up near the White House on the west side, what is described to me as Gate 17. This is kind of near 14th Street on the west side of the White House, and came up and brandished some sort of a pistol. We don't know what type of pistol it was, but he then fired toward the White House 3 times. And the United States Secret Service, they returned fire. We don't know how many shots that they got off. And they apparently took the gunman down. Now, sometime in...
I think in a lot of these cases, it could also just be suicide by cop. Like, who does this? Like, I mean, what a fucking idiot.
This gunfire exchange... A civilian on the street was struck by this gunfire, and we do not know
it doesn't make sense
the
to do this.
condition of that person right now. But the important thing to know is that the gunman who came up with the pistol and was taken down by the Secret Service, and we don't know his condition right now, but he never got inside the perimeter of the White House. And this is according to a senior administration official with direct knowledge of what went down at the White House this afternoon. This was right around 6 o'clock Eastern time.
So, Chad, so if I'm hearing what you said correctly, this was somebody who was just firing in the direction of the White House?
It was something that the Secret Service obviously perceived as a threat. Obviously, we're told that gunfire apparently was directed toward the White House. If you get toward the west side of the White House, and we're trying to figure out precisely where this was, you have the old executive office building now called the Eisenhower Executive Office Building, which is kind of a big complex if you're working from west to east toward the White House. So we know that he was firing in the direction of the White House, and this is the preliminary report from someone who's very senior and would have direct knowledge of this information. Again, a lot of people in town. There was one source that had, questioned me earlier, even before we had this information. There's a lot of motorcyclists in town for the Memorial Day events. They always come for this time, and people thought it might have been, motorcycles backfiring or something like that. There's quite a cacophony of that. But this is clearly someone who came up and was firing at the direction of the White House. And the president, of course, is at the White House today.
Yeah, holy shit. Will Trigger kill himself? I don't know about that. Nobody's saying that. I'm looking around, seeing if there's anything else. No, that's not it. Oh, man. Wow. That's not good. Let me see if I can find these other ones, too. This is insane. It says the shooter's in critical condition. Really? I'm surprised they didn't get him. Back to the Hassan humiliation ritual. I don't know what that was.
Trying to get you more information here. I have to see.
We're gonna wait a little bit longer and see if they have any more information
One of the
about this.
Whiplash
But
Game says, "I'll bet this was completely unrelated." Well, Fox News said that the person shot at the White House, and then,
what they say? People not
Kelly
realize White House
Meyer
windows and walls
said
can take a 50 cal.
a man walked up with a pistol and fired 3 times, and Secret Service returned fire.
It's just a mental illness retard, right?
Of CBS News.
I mean, that's literally it. What do you think would help reduce mental issues in society overall? I think just I really don't think that we have like that many more people that are mentally ill now. I think that what we have is a lack of regulation for them. So, for example, like back whenever you had like insane asylums and stuff like that, you just wouldn't see those people as much because they'd be institutionalized. But now, because they're not institutionalized, they're out there running wild, and it creates the perception that you have a lot more of these people. But I actually don't think that we do. I think that the reality is that we don't have very many of them, but the ones that we do have, everybody sees because of the internet. Like some retard in, Cleveland goes crazy, or Chicago goes crazy, and the whole world sees it, and they think that, oh my God, this is happening all the time. But really, it's just a crazy man outside the street, and that's it.
Hey, Sydney, I'm going to remain off camera here because, as you can see, there are the fire department here, fire trucks that are moving, as well as other law enforcement vehicles.
Yeah, and so do you consider a martyr a mentally ill? It depends. Like, I think it really depends. Like, mental illness and being a martyr is very different. Psych wards still exist, Zach? Well, the problem is that we don't commit people to psych wards and to insane asylums at the rate that we need to. Like, right now, the problem is that we only have, like, what percentage of the U.S. population is in jail?
Has been placed on lockdown according to multiple reports. Those reports of gunshots started just around...
I think it's only 0.6%, right?
We also just are trying to get more information, but we just know that multiple gunshots were heard outside.
Yeah, and so it's too low. Like, obviously, like, we need to, like, this number should be, like, twice as much. And so the problem is we need to have more prisons. We need to have more institutions. And it's way, way, way too low. Like, that's the issue that we have. It's the 2%, like I said. And so as long as you don't have, as long as you have those people that are outside, like, I hate to say this, but like, I would do this in like a very draconian way. I would, because I think that we have, like, this is the 250th anniversary of the country. We have constant, assassination attempts. Oh, there's two lines of audio. Again, we have constant assassination attempts. There's constant, violence. There's constant, turmoil. There's these protests that are just insane. Like, you need to do something about this. Like, you can't allow this to be just continued. Like, I mean, like, you just can't let that happen. Bring back lobotomizing. Well, I don't know about a lobotomy, right? I have no idea about that. I feel like it's coming, bro. Maybe. The world's a lot smaller with the internet. And I do think that definitely there are a lot of these nutballs that do this. Is this...
around the world with the war. What are your thoughts on it?
It's hard to tell in a few words, but we love Israel, and we hope that Israel will eventually will have silence, and we can live in peace in Israel, and not afraid that something will happen.
Okay, let me see here. I don't give a fuck. Like, I mean, I don't know what this has to do with Israel. I think people are not scared enough of prison. It's too romanticized. Prison should be extremely hard labor, nonstop.
So still
that would
trying
scare
to
them.
find out details.
It's surprising that no other information has come out about this so far.
I should be getting a live stream shortly from the area. Just so you know.
How do you vet this process? Because women used to get locked up just for being women, and some kids would get locked up just for being kids. Good. Let's get back to that. You call that a bug? I think that's a feature.
That a man approached a checkpoint near the White House and started fighting.
Yeah, like, no. NPC alert, yeah. Is this your first day on the show?
Has a heavy police presence to begin with. So to be reporting right now as we're waiting for more information about these shots fired near the perimeter of the White House. Of course, we know that more reinforcements will be on the way. We've been seeing different police cars come and go, members of the Secret Service come and go. Right now, it appears that there's not a lot of movement at this one location where I'm standing, but when I was moving around at some of the different blocks, we really did see a similar scene of just car after car, making sure that no one gets closer to the White House at this point.
Yeah, I would assume
as
so.
journalists,
Hear
we're
more
able
from
to
the
be
Secret
there
Service? I don't
at the White House, covering day in, day out what
Looking
takes place. When
around
something like
for
this
updates
happens, the entire area goes on a complete lockdown. It was
many nonviolent people in prison,
month
too?
when there were
I probably
also
should still
shots
be there.
fired near the
House
White
has
House.
been lifted.
As a result, the White House went on lockdown until the following morning. So that's inevitably something that we could see take place in the hours to come as this investigation continues. But again, police right now are telling anyone, if you are in D.C., if you're in the area.
I'm gonna be honest. People might not want to hear this, but if an official, like a government official, one of these people in the administration gets shot, like, I'm not gonna be surprised. Like, everybody's been trying to tell you for literally 2 years now.
CBS News says
that
2 people were wounded, including a suspect.
We saw that before. People have been trying to tell you for years now that we have a problem with internet extremism. We have a problem with vigilantism. We have a problem with, like, violence, right? Whether it's left-wing, right-wing, political violence, period. All political violence. We have a huge problem with it. And they've done nothing about it. They've done literally nothing about it.
Around 6 o'clock Eastern time, there was, you could hear people who were on the ground there. I wasn't there, but there was a report of gunfire near the White House. And I jumped in here because sometimes, when there's a threat at the White House or the executive branch, maybe there's something going on at the Capitol. So I started to dial in with sources there. We're told that this was on the west side of the White House grounds. Again, you have the White House, and you also have the outer perimeter there. Gate 17, it was described to me, near the Eisenhower Executive Office building.
He's one of the people responsible.
Somebody came up and brandished some sort of a pistol. I'm told that it was a pistol, in fact, not a long gun or a rifle or anything like that. And the alleged gunman got off at least 3 shots, and the United States...
There's no way that somebody does that and they were intending to do anything bad. 24-hour news cycle, whipping people into a frenzy? I mean, maybe to an extent.
As he attended the annual White House Correspondents Association dinner at the Washington Hilton. In fact, that happened, I believe, about 4 weeks ago today.
Oh, suicide shooting a pistol at a building? Yeah. This looks like, I feel like it's probably a suicide.
So, the Secret Service monitoring the scene, and also I should just remind everybody that Fox News's chief congressional correspondent, Chad Pergram, he had, and I'll just ask our producing team, Nina and Julie here, if we can get the Chad Pergram social media post.
We've already seen that.
Because he did give us a little bit more insight into a shooter. Pergram says the Secret Service took down a shooter. And I'm now reading from the Secret Service, from the Associated Press, that Secret Service officers shot a suspect that they said had fired at officers near the Washington Monument, also near the White House. So that's new information to me. I'm just reading this now.
Why is there so much violence against Trump in the White House compared to Biden and before them? The reason why is because a lot of like left-wing liberal people think that they have the right to, and this is the issue, and this started with like the pro-Palestine stuff, is that they think that they have the right to be violent and be aggressive when they don't get what they want. So what happens is that, you know, like let's say they lose the election and then it doesn't go the way they want. Well, then they just get to go out and attack people and, you know, be violent and shoot people and, you know, stage protests and get in the middle of the street. And fundamentally, why does this happen? I think it happens very easily because, you know, we let it happen. Like we allow these childish tantrums and outbursts and this hysterical violent behavior to go on in places like Portland or Seattle or Minneapolis or LA or, you know, like Austin even, right? Like why are we like New York is another one. Like why are we letting this happen? You can literally just send in the National Guard and just shut these people down. So, and like these people aren't, and there's another big component to this too, is that these people aren't protesters. Like whenever you're throwing rocks and you're, you know, attacking people and assaulting things and vandalizing property, like you're not protesting anything. Like if anything, you're just protesting reality. Like, and so you're just being violent and aggressive. Like January 6th, convenient to skip that. I'm just going to permaban you. I mean, I'm not, like, there's no reason to even engage in that. Right? I mean, you don't care about January 6th. You're only bringing up January 6th because you want to distract from the fact that people like this are seemingly kind of like maybe on your side. And so you're trying to bring up a counterexample to take the focus off of that. I mean, it's not going to work, right? I mean, I understand it might work with somebody else that wants to pretend like, oh, wow, like I'm going to play inside of your game. That's not going to happen. So anyway, no, this is overwhelmingly left-wing. It is overwhelmingly, like, I would say probably 100 to 1. Like, in terms of, like, the amount of left-wing protests and, like, basically institutionalizations of violence, it's like 100 to 1. Like, you look at all of the Tesla bombings, you look at all of the ICE protests, you look at everything that happened, like, it's not even remotely close. And then you look at Biden being in office, it's not like right-wing people had, like, these huge protests and were violent. Yeah, January 6th happened, but, like, there are, like, several orders of magnitude beyond that that happen regularly all the time. Like, BLM burned down the entire country and they let it happen. That was a completely left-wing movement. So reality is that, yes, overwhelmingly, this one side of the political party thinks that they have the moral authority to be violent, to be aggressive, to hurt people, to, you know, commit crime, to destroy property, to do anything that they want, really, because they think that they can do that they have the right to do that. The left's rhetoric is what allowed it to happen. Well, like, and this is the issue, right, is that you have Declaration of Independence Act, 1994 government riots, yeah. Like, so you are right, I was on Reddit and scrolled down, there were 5 posts promoting violence against the president and right-leaning people. Yeah, but, like, you can easily, and here's my point, is that you can easily stop that. You can instantaneously, like, you could stop that overnight. They don't want to. They don't feel like it's worth doing that. And because of that, if one of these different politicians gets shot, eventually it'll happen. I'm going to be like, that's what you get. That's what you get. Because you constantly like want to act like, oh, well, we don't want to go after these people. Oh, well, we don't want to do anything about this. Oh, well, we're going to let them protest. It's their freedom of speech. It's their freedom of speech to stand in the road and throw rocks at ICE officers. It's their freedom of speech to say that they want to kill all the people that they disagree with. Like politically, they should to shoot the president. It's insane. So, and every single riot that's allowed to happen emboldens all the retards that are planning their next one. And that's the other big issue, too, is that, like, basically you have every single time that these people do it and they get away with it, now it rewards them and they think, okay, great, I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to do it more. And so that's it. It's not freedom of speech. Yeah, they cry out in pain as they strike you. Exactly. And so the problem is that you don't have people in government that think about it the way that I do, unfortunately. Like, to me, I don't care what they say. It doesn't matter, like, what they're, oh, this is ideology. No, bro, like, that's nice. Just get in the box, right? But the issue is that many Republicans have a false sense of principle, which allows them to be taken advantage of. And I think that's overwhelmingly what happens. It's very annoying. Things are reversed. Democrats would be taking extreme action against it. Yeah, Democrats would be, like, look at what Democrats did to, people that were against BLM. Look at what they did to people who were against the 2020 election not being stolen or being stolen. Look at what they did against people that were denying COVID, right? They just completely shut them down. They went after them with every tool they possibly have. January 6th, right? And so, like, I don't want to do anything different than that. I just want to do the same thing. And, like, in my opinion, I think that if you don't do that, you just risk having even more of these people. The big issue is radical judges. Even if the Fed goes after these people, the judge will let them off. Well, then just get rid of the judge. You can just impeach the judge. Or just send them to a judge that you know won't do that. Or, I don't know, like, declare martial law and do a military tribunal. I don't know if you can do that. Like, literally just pull any lever that you can. Like, I mean, it's a national problem that the longer that you let it go on, the worse it gets. Like, I don't care what the solution is. I don't give a shit. But something needs to happen, because if something doesn't happen, then it's just going to keep getting worse. Do you think it's a sign of a fall of Western values? It is a sign of fall of... the Western values are being eroded because we have allowed third world mentalities to colonize our country. We have allowed the mentality that violence is a solution to problems. We have allowed the mentality that if I'm not heard, then I need to speak louder. We've allowed the mentality that if I'm disrespected, I can respond with violence. Basically, all of the, like, if I don't have something, I have the right to take it from another person. These are the mentalities that keep third world countries into continuing to be third world countries. They're still third world countries for that reason. And so everything leads to violence. Yes, exactly. And so, like, what's happened is I think that now it's become normalized. If I'm offended, I'm the loudest voice. Yes, exactly. If the government considered executing a heavy crackdown, but risk analysis could show that executing a heavy crackdown could be more dangerous than allowing the current situation, which seems improbable, just consider it for a moment. It seems more dangerous. Well, it depends on who it's dangerous for, right? I mean, like, I don't care if it's dangerous for the people that are protesting and the violent criminals. I don't care about them at all, right? I mean, if they don't want it to be dangerous, then stay home. But the reality is that why do you think Trump is using his power to the fullest to go after these judges and activists? I don't know. Like, I really don't know why they don't go after these people. Because, like, there's a million levers that you can pull and ways that you can... Like, I wish that we had people that were involved in politics that were trying to actually win rather than trying to, put on some sort of image. It's extremely annoying to me. The USA got weak, violence always wins, you just stopped responding equally. Well, yeah, but like the reality is that violence doesn't always win. Inside of the Roman Senate, you would have people that would openly discuss ideas. Like, and violence is necessary sometimes, but you can't have random people making that decision. That's the difference. Manufactured chaos for the Goyim. Yeah, I think there's definitely that true. And isn't a reason everybody feels like the boys should be heard and our opinions matter more is they come back to what's being louder matters to most of them. Yeah, the kind of non-action logic is flawed. Sometimes not taking a risk is more dangerous than taking it. Yeah, I think that's definitely it. You'd have to overhaul the entire shit. It's impossible to have this conversation every day. It's really not. It's just that you have bad faith actors that try to co-opt it.
New Caney, Texas, which is in Montgomery County, multi-victim shooting, units on scene with at least 3 confirmed victims from
I mean, it seems like another day on
you
the
want
job.
to go and contain that shooter, Austin, as we saw and witnessed here. You want to neutralize that shooter, whether it's taking him into custody or shots fired and neutralizing that suspect that way. You just don't want him at large to where other people could be involved and potentially get shot or killed during that attack initially.
What's wrong with Texas? There's a lot of people in it.
Of a motive. We don't know the circumstances surrounding the shooting. All we know is that...
I have a feeling they're probably not going to find a lot more out about this. Like, I think this is going to be one of those things where I really think what happened is that they might find some manifesto this person wrote, but fundamentally this seems like a lone gunman, suicide by cop type situation. Nobody walks up to the White House outside of the perimeter, pulls out a pistol, and goes bang, 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 and then they get killed by Secret Service. Like, this is very clearly either a person who is so profoundly mentally unwell that anything they say is just completely inadmissible, it's not even worth listening to, or it is suicide by cop. I think that's about it. I don't think we're going to get more information about this. There's not really anything else. IRGC, even the IRGC would have done a better job, right? I mean, they would have at least maybe got inside the perimeter. It seems like this is just a random dumb idiot, and that's really it. So, yeah, I'll read a few comments about this, but then we're going to move on. Yeah, it's just a random bozo. Yeah, that's the way it seems like to me, too. And what if they were a foreign mercenary? Well, then I think that country needs their money back because they certainly didn't get what they paid for. That's pathetic. Like, you didn't even get near the White House. You tried to, like, 1vx them with a pistol? Yeah. Like, they need to get their money back. Hopefully they can, PayPal refund it. With all this happened last month, something can happen more to shut down the block. More crazy Democrats will do this. I don't really think so. I mean, most people don't want to throw their life away. I mean, realistically, that's not it. Too few people understand a playtogory of Owl's of shadows in Plato's cave. I don't think it's really relevant right now. But, yeah, none of this is random. These actions are deliberate. Are you, like, one of those conspiracy people? Like, I don't think that any of this is... Like, I don't think that's... I mean... Sometimes things happen randomly. It's true. And a lot of people think that they want to, explain everything away and understand everything. But fundamentally, I don't think that's really possible. I don't. Like, I think that the reality is that a lot of these people are just crazy nutballs and there's nothing you can really do. Like, and I honestly, like, I'm surprised we don't have more of these. Like, I think that we probably will, especially as, crazy people like this become more popular. Why is it an issue of left versus right rather than logic versus dementia? Well, I mean, sometimes the problem is that it's the same thing, right? But it goes both ways, too. Then why run into a crowd doesn't add up? Because they're crazy. Like, that's... Again, you're making a mistake again. You're trying to reason a crazy person. You can't do that. You're not going to be able to, like, figure out what this person's doing and thinking because they're just insane. So that's it. I mean, there's too many of them, though. Well, there's a lot of them, but there's not too many of them. Cops. We'll watch. We haven't seen... is there a good video like that about this? I don't know if there really is one or not. And rated with one person. I don't even know what that is, but... Sorry for info. Yeah, I don't know if we have any more of these that are worth looking at. I have no idea. But it seems like just the same usual bullshit.